I love that you had the awareness that it wasn't really fulfilling for you. So what were some of the signs that told you that? Was it like, I'm just spending my entire life here, I have no social life, I have no other life outside of the four walls of this building? What told you that it was time to do something different?
That was part of it. And I think also the thought that I kept having this thought that, well, the next project will be more fulfilling. The next thing will be what I need. I just haven't found that thing yet. And when it really hit me that, you know, this was really, there wasn't going to be another thing, that I had to really just take some time and figure it out, that it wasn't going to be the next project. It wasn't going to be the next week. I was traveling a lot. I was traveling a lot globally for work, and I love to travel. So I thought, oh, if I'm working on a global project and traveling, then that's going to be the thing. And that still wasn't fulfilling. So I thought, okay, I really need to understand myself and understand what I want. I was able to have a lot of conversation with leadership about the things that were not really fulfilling to me, ways in which I could better use my talents, and, you know, trying to understand, okay, where could I fill the void in a different way that would be beneficial to the company and to myself. I was having a lot of conversation and saying a lot of things, but I hadn't really completely understood myself and my own talents and what I was really valuing. I felt like I was really self-aware, but not to the extent I really needed to be able to say, oh, wait, this is what I want to do. And this is what's going to be most valuable to other people.
Yeah. And I think that's where the assessment you use is UMAP. And I think that UMAP assessment that you leverage for helping people start to learn more about themselves and who they are is really beneficial. I read through my results. We haven't spent time on that yet, but I'm really interested to see, like, what is some of the feedback you're getting from people after they do the assessment, and how does it help you as the coach to work through that with them?
It's really fascinating because I was going through the certification program feeling like I was pretty self-aware. I mean, I had figured out, oh, wait, I do want to be a coach. I want to be an entrepreneur. And I had made a big move myself. So I felt like, you know, I'm really self-aware, knowing that there's always more to learn about yourself because we're a different person. You know, I'm a different person now than I was 5 minutes ago. But as I was going through the certification process and as I was discussing my own results with my coach, I had several aha moments even then. And I had read through my results. I had understood them. I had been certified, but we continue to learn more and more about ourselves. So it's just so fascinating to see that occur with my clients as well. And for them to read through the results and then to further discuss them with me and just be able to verbally process how it applies to their lives and how it has applied throughout their lives. It's so rewarding to see. I have always been a little bit of an assessment junkie, and, you know, all the things. And so, meeting you, Sue, I thought, wait, you're certified in Hogan. I haven't taken that one. I need to do that. Right. So just one reason why I thoroughly enjoyed that process with you. But each time I took an assessment, it was another slice of who I was. And so I had various assessments, you know, on my shelf, and I knew pieces of myself, but this just kind of pulls it together and helps me understand why sometimes I experience conflict within myself. Like Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable. So I needed to figure out what the heck people were saying, what was on the menu. Everything was an adventure. And I'm a very adventurous person when it comes to not knowing what's going to come of something. I'm not, I don't leap out of planes or bungee jump or anything like that. I don't want to feel like my life's in jeopardy. But I love the adventure of uncertainty. And so I had a lot of that while I was traveling. And so that's what I love getting to know people in different cultures and just connecting with people. And I found during my time that summer that I could connect with people without even speaking the language. And I just love that because regardless of the differences we have from culture to culture, we still have a lot of the same similarities. The same similarities. We have a lot of similarities, mostly similarities. And most people in the world are good people. And so I just love connecting with them. So I have realized that it's really just helping people. You know, I'm just putting it out there. I do not in any way want to have any convincing energy. And I think because I've been concerned about seeming as if I'm trying to convince people, I just don't tell them about the party. When really it's not, I'm not interested in convincing anyone. I want to work with people who don't have to be convinced and who just want to come to the party, right? If I were to have a party, I wouldn't want to talk people into coming to the party, right? I wouldn't want those types of people at the party. So I'm trying to think about it in that way. So my tip is really to think about it as a party and think about just helping people. So regardless of your environment, just sharing what you do with people. If we think about it as just helping people and providing them information, like you said, it's a very different mindset. So I've just been showing up and being who I am. And one thing I do is, I'm just here's who I am. I have a green screen. The whole background thing isn't working out. That's fine. I don't get too worried about. This is just kind of how I operate. And I'm very much like that in one-on-one settings. And I'm just realizing, this is who I am in social media. This is just who I am. And I kind of think about it as if I'm just meeting one-on-one with each person. I wouldn't be any different in that setting. So I'm trying to think about it in that way.
I love it because I think that's very refreshing. Sometimes you see someone on social media and they are very different in person. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just reassuring to people that want to work with you that you are exactly the same as what they're seeing in social media. And when they talk to you, you're the same person every time, right? You're always showing up with just joy and transparency and genuineness. And that's the people that need to work with you, or they're going to be attracted to that. So that's amazing. Okay, next one. What is the one piece of leadership or career advice that you received that helped you the most?
In the book, Lean In. I was going to have the author's name ready, but I can't remember.
Oh, Sheri Zevenbergen.
Thank you. Because it's in the forefront of my mind.
Right there.
So it's just going to be there. I really enjoyed that book, and there was just one suggestion she had in there, and one story that really stuck with me. I think when it comes to being visible and just kind of telling people about ourselves and just, being visible. I think part of the challenge there is that I'm in the Midwest, and we talked about this a little bit last week, Sue. And there are a number of factors at play, but I think part of it's being in the Midwest. Anyway, in Lean In, she shares a story about when she went to a particular meeting and she sat in the back of the room. There were only so many chairs at the table, and she sat against the wall. And her boss at the time said, "No, you need to sit at the table. You deserve to sit at the table just as much as anyone else." And that really stuck with me because I thought about how often I would go into a meeting and I would just automatically take a chair in the back just because I'm a nice person. And not that I consciously thought, oh, somebody else deserves a seat at the table more than I do. None of that was conscious, but that's the energy I was putting out there when I would take a seat in the back of the room. So I would often think about that. And I've told a number of people about that because it's how we show up. And, I can be a nice person and still sit at the table.